What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall market and talk about something very huge that's happening right now. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. Anyways, as far as SPY is going, keep in mind we have this range between 595 as the main support and 598 as resistance. And if we break 598, we could be pushing a lot higher. If we lose 595, we could be dumping lower. As of right now, we're consolidating between these levels, but there is some kind of attempt that could be coming to really break this if we do get some good news. So, why do I say that? We have some breaking news that just came out. President Trump and Xi Jinping are speaking possibly like right now on the phone. And what they say could be very important once President Trump concludes the call. If he says something very optimistic about their negotiations, and if we get a good deal, this could be very, very big, very, very huge news for both sides, very big for the stock market. So looking at our data and our news, I just wanted to say that, as you guys know, President Trump did say that he likes President Xi of China. He always has and always will, but he is very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. That's the last thing we heard from President Trump about him yesterday. But today, keep in mind that there's been some sources. It's not just American sources, but Chinese state media and the Chinese foreign ministry have confirmed that the call is happening. And as of right now, they basically said that for today that the call was ongoing as of 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as of right now, there's been some huge news that they're on the phone with one another, two of the most powerful men in the world, and they could be negotiating trade right now. If we get some big news that they have negotiated a deal or something really big is about to come out of this, this could cause a lot of volatility for the stock market. The market was dipping, then we got this pop as soon as the news came out. We saw SPY almost touch 600. So is this about to break out higher now that this news is coming out, or are we about to get a rug pull? Please watch your levels just to be safe. Now, on top of this, President Trump is also going to be meeting up with the German Chancellor very soon at the White House today. So that could also cause some volatility if they also talk about trade or such. We'll see how that ends up going. On top of this, I just want to mention that we got our exports and imports data. Exports are technically above expectations, and imports are as expected. Initial jobless claims are also very close to expectations, so not bad. However, I do want to note that when it comes to all this data, pretty soon we're going to have some bill auctions coming out, which could cause some volatility, so be ready for that. And then we also have Kugler from the Fed giving a speech. What they say may also cause some volatility. Now, a lot of the Fed officials are saying something very different. A lot of them are saying they want to see the Fed and Jerome Powell cut ASAP. Some of them are saying that it's too early to do that, but there's different views. And there's an ongoing debate from the Fed about whether or not they should cut rates. So we'll see if Kugler says anything about that. So keep that in mind, at least for now. When it comes to other pieces of news, I was looking through the news. I didn't see anything else that's too crazy. We did see the private sector payrolls increase by about 37,000 in May, which is not too bad. And then I don't think the numbers are too bad, at least thus far. Everything was kind of close to expectations. So we'll see what happens. Also, remember that President Trump did urge Jerome Powell to start cutting rates as soon as possible. He called him too late Powell again, and he said that he needs to cut rates soon. So we'll see if we get any updates from the Fed soon. Besides that, this is the economic calendar. We have Broadcom announcing earnings after market close. Anyways, now let's focus on the charts. So, as far as SPY goes, right, there's the two possibilities we were talking about. Number one, this is like a cup and handle. And if we want to be bullish, if you break 598, we're looking for a breakout for the 600s. If President Trump starts announcing that the call happened with him and President Xi, and if we get good news from that today in the next like hour or so, it's possible the bullish case pans out. If we don't get good news from it, and if we can't break 598, right, the less bullish case would be is we kind of get like a dip first, but then we eventually try to bounce and then break this resistance, right? We could still be on a very, very nice uptrend, even if we get a small dip to start things off. So what's happening so far? Nice little breakout here. However, we're range bound for the time being. So all we're doing for the past day and a half is just this back and forth price action. If we end up losing 595, even after President Trump's call, this could be dipping a lot lower to 592 or below. And if we break 598, we're looking for a breakout for the 600s. It could go either way as we're range bound, so give this some time. On the QQQ, if we break 530, we're looking for a push for 532.5 or above. And eventually, 535 would be our next target. If we're bearish, you want to see us lose 527.5. If that fails us, we could be retesting 525 or below. My gut tells me that this is technically range bound, going back and forth between 527.5 and 530. So we'll see if we break out higher or if we come back down. Watch this range and we'll see which way we end up breaking. On the IWM, we're also technically range bound. We have this resistance right here at 211. If that breaks, we're looking for an attempt to push for like 212.5. If we're bearish, you want to see this essentially lose the support right over here at 206. If that fails us, we could be dipping lower. We're also range bound on this. This is completely stuck for now. We're waiting to see what President Trump says about his call with Xi Jinping. If it's optimistic, if we get some good news, this could launch higher. If not, we could be dipping. So just expect this to be range bound for now, and we're going to wait and see. I do think President Trump is going to make the announcement very soon. The market does look like it wants to push a little bit. It's looking a little bit stronger to me ever since we got this news. So we'll see if this continues. ES has the cup and handle. If we could hold above 6,000, we're looking for 6,050 as our targets. If we're bearish, even if you have the cup and handle, you could come down. If we reject off 6,000, we could return to these EMAs to like 5,950. Then we'll see if we break out from there. For now, this is looking decent. We have to see if 6,000 breaks. So we're waiting for an update on this. What happened during the call? What's going on? Are we about to break out? Make sure you watch your levels. If we lose 5,964, we're looking for 5,936 or below. And if we break 6,000, we're looking more bullish. We're in the middle right now on ES. There is potential to break out higher, though, if we get some good news. NQ needs to break 21,800 to continue to push. So make sure you watch that very closely. If we lose 21,650, we could turn back down. This looks a little bit more bullish, and we'll see if we could hold up or not. On Bitcoin, we're looking decent. We're making higher lows here. We need to hold this blue trend line. As long as that holds, we're looking for 106,800 or above. If we lose support right here, we could be dipping back down. So we'll see if this breaks out or not. For other tickers out here, we also happen to have Tesla, which is kind of weak. We have more news that the UK sales are down, the Chinese made sales are down, the German sales are down, and the list goes on. Also, there's been some talk about the potential for the EV tax credits to be lifted, and we might not see as many of them in the future if we end up seeing new bills passed. So there's been some negative news about all of this. So if we lose 320 on Tesla, we could be dipping to this gap support at 315-ish. And if that fails us, we're looking for 310, which is where the 200 EMA happens to be. To be bullish, you want to get back above like 330. So we're still kind of weak, and there's going to be a risk of us retesting 320. Bitcoin's looking, not Bitcoin, ES and NQ are really, really leading this market, and we're seeing Nvidia with a very, very similar setup. So when it comes to Nvidia, if we end up breaking 144, we're looking for a breakout for the 148 area. If we fail and lose 139.5, we're looking for a dump to 135. So it depends on what we hear from President Trump. On Aapl, if we end up losing 202, we're looking for a dip to 200 or below. As long as we hold 200, though, 202, we could be looking for an attempt to push for 206 on Aapl. There's upside potential in it. For AMD, we're technically on an uptrend. We want to see if we could break out towards 120. If we lose 118, we're looking for 116 or below. Coinbase is looking more bullish with an inverse head and shoulders setup. If we end up losing 252, we're bearish. As long as we're above 255, though, we're favoring an upside move for 265 or above. For Amazon, we look bullish. We're looking for an attempt for 212, and if that breaks, we're going higher. Meta is bullish as long as we hold 690. We're looking for 700. Google could be looking for an attempt for 174. We do look a bit more bullish. And then Microsoft's on the uptrend. As long as you don't lose 462, we're favoring 466. Anyways, that's it for this one. We're also making lower highs right now, at least on the VIX. So it's a little bit weak. And the market is looking a little bit more in favor of bulls, a tiny bit more looking at the current setups. But it depends, right? What do we hear from President Trump's phone call with Xi Jinping? Is President Trump about to make the announcement? Once he announces this could be very big, and the market's optimistic about this. So we'll see what ends up happening. Did they just negotiate a big deal? Are they about to make some announcements about some tariff changes? Get ready, guys. Expect some volatility. We'll see what President Trump ends up saying. Thank you for listening. That's going to be a big catalyst for the markets, and we'll see how it ends up going. We'll see what this news ends up looking like. So thank you for listening, and peace out.